I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my horoscope for you, Libra, for the week of July the 11th. All right, let's have a look at what's going on because there's a lot of activity in your career zone now. Last week we did have like a career and a home and family. So now things can start to go to, get going in work. Although we do still have some challenging aspects this week. What would a week be without some challenging aspects? Okay, so right in that solid 10th house, your career zone, we've got the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Now, Mercury and Venus are going to move out midweek, but let's talk about that in a minute. So we do have of the Sun and Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of communication, commerce, media, also about self-promotion and technology as well, creativity. Now we do have some between with Mercury and the Sun. There's a square with Uranus. Now Uranus sits right opposite you in your relationship area. Okay, so there's likely to be some let's say discussion or rearrangement of plans. Things may not go exactly as you thought they would or had hoped they would. But that's okay because we've also got a very favorable, two very favorable aspects between the Sun and Mercury and Mars. And Mars sits there in your solar second house, all to do with money and possessions. This is also to do with self-worth. So firstly, you want to be careful about how your thoughts, your inner thoughts, and your self-talk around money, how you value yourself. This is very much about how worthy you feel of attracting in your life what it is you want. Okay. So that being said, try to deal with any of those limiting, nagging sort of self-doubts as they come up. And the way to do that is really to, don't ignore them, is to feel them, see where they come from, try to get in touch with them, or get in touch with the feeling of it, and release it. It's like, you know what, I don't need that anymore. And then, having done that, then you replace that with positive thought. So in that way, you're not just pushing it down and putting a band-aid over it. Because right now, it's like things can switch around a little bit. It seems like maybe some things have got to go to make room for other things. But at the end of the day, even though it can be a little bit confronting or unsettling or whatever word or for want of a better word, they can come out, right? But an opportunity can, like the trines are like things are meant to sort of happen, but you still have to recognize it. So, make sure that when an opportunity crosses your path, then you go, hey, that's for me. I'm going to work with that. And you don't sit in the back stalls and let someone else just, take over or take the credit. Now let's have a look when Venus, and Venus of course you being your ruling planet, anything that happens with Venus has a great influence on you. So let's have a look at what happens when Venus and Mercury this week both move into the next sign, which is going to be a very social area of your chart and brings in friends. So a discussion can come together here right at the end of the week. So it's like there's, things have switched around, the sands are starting to settle, and then friends particularly can come through for you, or a social engagement. And let's not forget, a lot of business is done. Mixing business and pleasure is such a fabulous thing. We all like to work with people excuse me, that we know and trust and respect. Now, of course, it's not all about work, even though a lot of your chart this week is about work and money. If you're in a relationship, there's some compromises to make. Well, that's life, isn't it? If you're looking for love, certainly a social arrangement, or, get out and about. Don't spend all your time doing your responsibilities, even though they're necessary. Life is about balance. No one knows that better than you, Libra. So it's time to walk your talk in that area. Okay. All right. Love and luck to you. I hope you have a great week. I'm Jennifer Angel. Thanks for watching.